Welcome back, everyone, and we have more from the loudmouth from Flint. Michal Moore apparently was recently to award a or present an award at Cannes, and as with every liberal nutjob celebrity, used that to attack the President of the United States. Michal Moore, at the 72nd Cannes Film Festival, attacked Donald Trump. He was supposed to be presenting the jury prize, but of course, immediately starts off talking about how Picasso said art is a lie that enables us to realize the truth, or as we say in America, Trump is the lie that enables us, well, more lying. Well, that's not true, Michal, and you know it. You see, after 9/11, Michal Moore immediately began blaming everyone but the hijackers who flew planes into the World Trade Center and Pentagon. After Columbine, he starts blaming guns. And when he's not able to exercise control over the people who he wants to pay to see his movies and control over those of us who see him for the idiot he is, well, he just continues on and on. He is right now a walking example of the old saying that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. But who could really blame him when the likes of De Niro or Reiner or Milano or any of them are so concerned about the country that they do nothing but tweet insults at everyone who won't vote for their person and follow their orders. Right now, of course, he's claiming that art in dark times is what's helped us save humanity, whereas his art is harassing members of Congress on film, or his art is spreading other lies on film. And this is honestly something that's going to come back and bite the liberals in their posterior. It already is to an extent. Unfortunately, they're all wealthy enough that it really doesn't matter anymore to them. But you see, right now, cable news like CNN, MSNBC, and so on, and Hollywood, to a large extent, are seeing their lowest numbers at the box office or ratings that they've seen in years. Rachel Maddow is being beaten by the Weather Channel, if I read right now, and her ratings are the lowest they have ever been. But of course, she's still on the air because someone wants her there. Meanwhile, CNN as a whole is only kept afloat because airports leave them on, bolstering their sagging ratings. I don't know that Michal Moore has put out anything other than hot air in the last 10 years. Just a note to AOC, if you want to stop hot air escaping into the environment, why don't you try to control Michal Moore? But the long and short of it is, the very policies that give rise to everything Michal Moore claims to want to fight, he should look in the mirror and at his own party. Because you see, Democrats are the party of doing absolutely nothing other than punishing those who don't need to be punished. Look at Chicago, run by Democrats for decades. Their murder rate is higher than most civilized countries, if not all of them on the planet, because their law abiding citizens are prohibited by law from owning a firearm. Meanwhile, thugs and gangs and who knows what else run their streets heavily armed. And of course, when one of them attacks a police officer and is shot, the news spins it as an innocent child gunned down by a racist cop. And they never mention that that thug, who's not a child nor innocent, pulled a gun on the cop. There's a video that went around several years ago of a police shooting. And it was one that the media had hyped into the stratosphere because you see the person set a weapon on the ground, and seconds later they're shot. When you slow the video down and zoom in on that person's left side, you see them draw a pistol from either their belt or back pocket, obviously going to shoot at the police officer. Now, some are going to argue that that person should have said, I have another weapon and I'm going to draw it and lay it down. They obviously didn't say anything to that effect because had that happened, the officer should have then said, no, keep your hands on your head. We will remove it from your pocket. It's a very simple thing. If you're not going to attack the cop, you simply tell them what's going on. But of course, even after the slow mo and the red circle was put around the gun as it was drawn, it was still the mantra from liberals that cops are racist. And then when the cops are hamstrung and can't stop things, cops are inept. It's a catch 22. The same is true for Michal Moore. You see, Donald Trump has lowered taxes for all taxpayers in the country. Donald Trump is creating more jobs than we have seen created in the last 10 years. Donald Trump has started to actually enforce border law. The military under Donald Trump's administration has sent ISIS and other terrorist groups running for the hills. But none of this is good enough for Moore. In his mind, the only thing Donald Trump could do would be to undo everything, raise our taxes, kill all the jobs, pay the terrorists to come back, and hand power over to liberals, who would then pay off terrorists and let everyone into our country. And Michal Moore could then say, "See, I saved the country." It needs to stop. It really does, because this is an example of a mouthpiece given a soapbox and just a little bit of praise, sending them on a tailspin. Moore was relatively unknown until Columbine, and then Bowling for Columbine were everything but what many, many professionals and experts have said should have been done. Everything but that was put into his movie. It was all about how it was the evil white person's fault, and it was the school's fault, and it was cops' fault. It was not the shooter's fault. It was the gun that they stole. So people who legally own firearms are to be punished because, well, if you don't have them, they can't be stolen. Never mind that Michal Moore lives behind a gigantic wall and has armed security with him everywhere he goes. We are not allowed that. And we need a very firm and clear message. And we are sending it in a way, but we need to be firmer and clearer in that message. And that message is very simply, we're not going to financially enable you to subjugate us. As of right now, we are still a free capitalist country. Michal Moore's income is made from films that defame this very country and those leading it. His income source needs to dry up. Hollywood's too, cable news as well. I do I don't do a lot of business with a lot of companies. Okay? I pretty much just go to work, maybe go get something to eat, but I typically take my lunch because it is less expensive. And I typically will stop at a grocery store if I need something on the way home. Personally, I shop at one grocery store. It's the one I used to work at, and I know where they do their advertising. They really don't need to do much of it because honestly, they're that good, and I shop with them. If I go to a fast food place, I typically will look to see if any of them are advertising on CNN or MSNBC or anything like that, and I try to avoid those. And I have had my options limited. I'm pretty much down to Whataburger and Chick-fil-A, or bringing my own lunch, or if uh, we have one of the local folks that's their one shop operation, they come in every now and then with sandwiches that they're selling, and they're very good. But I'm one person. I mean, my 3 times a month to McDonald's because they advertise on CNN, they don't even notice it. My refusal to shop at Target because of their support for opening restrooms to anyone and everyone who just happens to decide, I'm a girl today, or their promotion of clothing for young children that is something young children should not be exposed to, and you can look that up. They're not going to notice one person, but a lot of people are starting to do this. If you'll remember with the bathroom incident, Target had to cancel expansion plans because they lost a lot of money, lost a lot of sales. Imagine if Moore could no longer fill an auditorium, or if no one was going to see his movies. How quickly would he, one, be ranting on every news station about the evil people who are trying to silence him? And then how quickly would he fade away when he realizes, oh, wait, insulting the people I've already insulted so badly they're not spending money on me probably isn't the right idea. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. But I've talked long enough on this, you can probably hear it in my voice. But let me know what you think. Just remember, keep the comments civil. We don't learn from argument, we learn from debate. As always, please also remember to like and share this video, as well as to subscribe and turn on notifications. Until next time, everyone, have a wonderful day.